Hey guys, Itty Bitty Brick here, welcome back to another video, welcome back to another movie review, where today I watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever in cinemas, and I did not like it. I apologize, but it just wasn't a very good movie. It did have some good parts to it, actually a lot of good parts that I can compliment. The movie wasn't completely ruined, and it's because of these elements. It really helped it out, and let me get into them. So the movie itself looked beautiful, the setting, the costume design was incredible, the cinematography, it really had some cool elements, like some cool shots and some playing around with the editing, which made it better. Like when water explosions were happening, it would slow down and it would show like this massive like screen of water, and it looked really nice. The acting in this movie was fantastic. I think everyone did a really good job portraying their characters. There was a lot of emotion in the acting, which made it believable and made me care about these characters even more. The characters also were written very well. I liked the villain, oddly enough, and I liked the water people, which were the villain's henchmen. They were pretty cool. I liked them sneaking around the water, and the soundtrack complemented this as well. The music in this movie was amazing. The song at the end was a great one. The CGI, I'm thinking the CGI in this movie was just perfect. It was perfect compared to the other movie, the first one, which the CGI was god awful. I have no idea what happened. They obviously got more money, or they started caring. Either way, it paid off, because the CGI actually worked in this movie. The action in this movie as well, the fight scenes, I thought it was really good, and obviously it looked really nice as well because of the shots, the setting, the color scheme of everything. It was really nice. Now it's time for me to get into the negatives of this movie. See, I personally think there's a lot. This movie, its runtime is 2 hours and 40 minutes, and you can definitely feel that, because it is boring. This movie is boring. I don't care that the conversations have very deep meaning. More than half of this movie is just people talking. Now, I know this might sound hypocritical of me, because my favorite movie in the whole world is 12 Angry Men, but that's different, right? Because they're not talking about, Chadwick Boseman died tragically. There are water people. That is the whole conversation ever, and there's about 20 of them, and they all last for more than 10 minutes. This is not what you want to see for a superhero movie, unless the conversations actually don't bore you to death. Like I just previously mentioned, yes, they have meaning behind them, but some conversations, like there was one towards the end where they decided, yeah, we're gonna go actually have a war with these guys, and then instead of just going to the war, they get everyone together and have a 10-minute conversation about the war, and it holds no importance besides the fact that they're saying we're gonna go to war, and it's just a waste of time. The movie didn't need to be this long. Maybe it did if it wasn't just people talking. Another thing as well was how dumb the movie's plot was. I thought the movie was going to go down more the track was with how Wakanda is fitting in with the other nations now that they know that Wakanda is like the main source of vibranium. Dealing with this stuff after the king's death, that is definitely more of what I wanted to see. Not some elf dude declaring war on humanity because he has a big shrine. That's pretty much it. That's all the plot is. Which is disappointing. Like I just said, the better option would be to show the effect of the king dying more, rather than just saying, well, the king's dead and we're going to mourn him, but that's all they do with the king's death. They just mourn it and then they move on. When I first went into this movie, I was like, please don't make this entire movie about the king's death. It is sad, we should have something about it, but we shouldn't have the entire movie just like, oh well, the king's dead. I watched it, and that's exactly what I wanted to happen. I wanted to see more of the impacts of the king's death, not just these guys having a war because they want vibranium. besides that, I really don't know what to say about this movie. Ironheart, I was so hyped for Ironheart. When they went to the school and they found her, the comedy was working for me. I liked that. There were certain parts of the acts that I really liked, but then they were just kind of washed away with all the boringness, because there was more boringness than there was action, and I don't really want to be the guy that watches a movie for the action. I'm much more into storytelling. However, this time I was just hoping for action because it was just boring. It bored me. If you find it not boring, that's fine. If you like it, if you like people talking about nothing for like 2.5 hours, that's fine. Anyway, I was hyped for Ironheart. I thought this whole entire movie was just going to be Ironheart's introduction, but she was much more of a side character, which I enjoyed. And the Mark 1 suit looked better than Mark 2, because the Mark 2 suit looked like a knockoff Transformers Power Rangers mech. Well, that is going to do it for my review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I was really hoping this one would be a standout, and unfortunately it wasn't, although it did have some really cool things about it. That's why I'm going to be pretty generous about this score after all this negative detail, after all the stuff I didn't like about it. I feel like what it did in the movie deserves a bit of credit, because Phase 1, 2, and early Phase 3 MCU was just really boring shots, nothing cool really. They started to delve more deep into that in No Way Home. They started experimenting with their cinematography, how things look, and it seems like that's carrying over, which is a good thing, because boringly shot MCU movies are kind of bad. This one is very well shot, very good CGI, very good characters. Boring. Anyway, that is going to do it. I'm giving this one an unfortunate 5 out of 10. But if you enjoyed this review, which you probably didn't because I didn't like the movie, and apparently that's a sin, please do leave a like, subscribe, and until then, goodbye.